Okay, so you guys are probably familiar with the is Walt Disney frozen conspiracy?
Yes.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
He is.
So that I'm familiar with that, and I think that's a cool conspiracy. But someone took it a step further, and they think that the movie Frozen is to disrupt the Google search algorithm.
Oh,
So when you Google Walt Disney Frozen,
fuck.
it gives you the movie, not
And not the head, and not the head
Yeah.
results.
So it's a conspiracy on top of another conspiracy.
yeah, exactly. And
Wow.
the second conspiracy enhances the first one.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course,
Well,
it
wait.
makes, it
I
makes
want
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So what?
First of all,
So-
let's just say, I do remember this whole frozen head discussion. I was a big fan of it way back when, and
Oh,
the thing
yeah?
that sparked it for me
You go to
was
some
the
rallies?
episode of iCarly where they go to Dingo Studios. Remember, they got that. You know, Carly. She's got the web show.
iCarly.
Yes, I know iCarly. yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Dingo Studios puts
Yeah, that lady with the web show
yeah,
and her-
and then
and
they,
her-
yeah,
and her unemployed brother that
Yeah.
live in a $1 million
$1 million
apartment
loft,
in Seattle.
in
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. They have Dingo Studios, which is like a TV network that steals all the ideas. I forget what show Dingo Studios put on, but that's not really important. They go over to Dingo Studios, and Sam brings, you remember the sock filled with butter that she swings around
Right.
to get the security guards and all that?
You got to hit people with because she was
Yeah.
violent.
Exactly, because she was violent and didn't have a strong parental figure in her life.
Right.
Spencer and Freddie actually go down. They go down to the bowels of Dingo Studios. And actually, this was a conversation they had with the homeless guy who was in their apartment who got into the bathtub through the open window. And like the great view of Hollywood, right? The hotel had a great view of Hollywood. And the joke was that you don't see Hollywood, you see the homeless guy whose name is Hollywood. And the window opens right up to him, and he gets access to the hotel.
Okay. Where is this going?
So Spencer and Freddie go down to the bowels of Dingo Studios, and they have, how do they get in?
I don't know.
They go down. Here's what happens. Spencer goes down, and he acts like the director of the whole building. So he goes down.
Can I
and the
just say
security
something?
guard is
Can I
like,
just say something real quick? I can feel myself forgetting what the original thing you were talking about
Okay.
is as you speak about this.
Don't
It's like
interrupt the genius.
it's fading from my brain. Like I feel like I'm being hypnotized into not understanding any word you're saying now. Just keep going.
So Spencer and Freddie Benson, whose mom
Is a helicopter mom.
yeah, and Spencer said that he once dapped when Freddie's mom called him dapper. He dapped. That was in another episode. They go down, and
Losing my
Spencer,
mind.
there's a security guard who's like, whoa, you can't be here. They're in the bowels of Dingo Studios. And Spencer, he creates this figure called Mr. Fupferman or some kind of,
Am I
some
going to be
kind of
tested
guy
on
up
this
here.
or something? Why are
Some
you giving
kinda
so much
guy up
information?
Here. I'm telling stories how my mom likes to tell stories. I've been trying to
Okay.
do that. I'll be on the phone with my mom, and she'll be like on a run or something. And then she'll just keep going because she has all the time in the world.
Right,
Because
and
she's
then-
on a run. And I'm like in front of my computer. I'm like, Mom, this is great. But like a story about what dad is up to will turn into, so I saw
Right.
the cardiologist, and this is what the cardiologist is up to. And I'm like, Mom, this is a silly thing to add to a conversation about.
And then she'll start
what was
talking
completely
about
different.
she'll start talking about some person that you knew at an acquaintance level in first
Yeah.
grade and be
Yeah,
like,
and then
"Do you
they're like,
remember,
she's like,
do you
yeah,
remember
you guys were
Jo-
close friends.
Do you remember Billy Crossan? Have you spoken to him? No, actually, I haven't spoken to him in 15 years. And they're
I don't
like,
care
oh,
that he's
well, his
going to
parents are doing
Columbia,
well.
you know?
Okay.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and so always on the phone, it's like, Mom, you are talking about something
Jschlatt.
completely different than the point of what you started talking about. And so
Okay.
I just try and let her know that.
So Was Dingo this company hiding a frozen head?
So you haven't let me got to that part yet.
It didn't seem like you were ever going to get there.
Spencer goes down. He's like, you need to go upstairs to the security guard. He's like, you need to check something. And he's like, I'm going to call Mr. Kupferman, Mr. Fupferman, or Mr. Lupferman, or whoever. And then he starts repeating his name. And then the security guard gets all flustered. He goes upstairs. Then they open up the freezer door in the bowels of Dingo Studios, pull out the frozen head of Charles Dingo, take the photo of it, and use it to blackmail the writers of the Dingo show that's ripping off iCarly, that web show. And then Sam also gets some hits in with the butter suck.
You have a stunning memory.
That was remarkable.
I watched this last night.
You think that the writers at Nickelodeon know about the frozen head? I imagine Nickelodeon and Disney, I bet they've got some shit on each other.
Oh, I bet they do. Do. Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas did the Frozen Disney thing too.
Did they?
Yeah, have you guys not played that?
No,
I played that. Well, I'm trying to remember.
Mr. House.
Mr. House?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like Walt Disney, and it turns out he's
that's true. He does look like Walt. He's got the fucking he's got
the old mustache. And,
he's got the Gomez mustache and shit.
Yeah, he's got the like slicked hair, like 40 style, and then you find out he's actually frozen, or he's like in this weird cryo chamber in the basement.
Right. And then you kill him, right?
Yeah, you can beat his ass with Nelfie's driver if you're a true Fallout player.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was real, though. Honestly, they probably did freeze that fucker. He was a weirdo. I would be less scared about the head's existence, more scared about what would happen if they brought him back and like put him on a little robotic body, because that dude was fucked up and you know it,
dude.
And you know it.
You bring Walt Disney back, you put him on a robot body, you wheel him out in front of a microphone, and that dude is going to be slinging the most anti-Semitic remarks the world has ever seen. He is going to be showing Kanye how it is done. Like, the dude is going to be a fucking psychopath. And he's also, the thing is about Walt Disney is that, like, he's sort of like the framework of what all the billionaires are doing today. Like, that dude was crazy in so many ways. He wanted Epcot to be a legitimate city run by a business that people would live. He was trying to make like a futuristic fucking mining town where people
got it, man.
No, okay. Epcot is not what do you know what he originally was trying to do with Epcot? He was trying to make an actual legitimate city in Florida that they, like, Disney owned and ran. Like, Epcot is like a baby version, like that eat around the world thing. That is not what Disney was trying to make. He was trying to make like a fucking he was a psycho. He was a ridiculous man, and I would not be surprised if he froze his head and then also staged the Titanic.
We're back to the Titanic. That's interesting that you keep bringing this up. It's like you actually might believe this.
You said that
a little concerning.
You said that so calmly. You're like, it's like you're like genuinely worried about me. And
this is how I deal with actual situations.
You're like trying to get me some help. You're like, okay. So Ted, I'm worried about you.
They have their own district, though. Disney has their own municipality. They have their own plumbing and shit, you know? Like, they almost got there.
Well, and Disney gets involved in politics, too. There was like, remember that whole thing with Florida where it was like, must have been the governor or something of Florida was like, Disney, if you are going to like go against us, like banning trans people in Florida, we're going to like remove your tax shit that you've got going on in, I think it was something about like the don't say gay law. I think it was in Florida. And then the Disney CEO was like, yeah, this sucks, that we don't support this. And then Florida's like governor was like, fuck you, we're going to take away your tax rights, which is like, what the fuck, man? But okay, Tucker, what do you think about this theory? I
like it. The original theory is was the movie Frozen created to divert algorithmic responses away from the truth?
I'm curious though what your personal opinion is on the initial theory, the theory within that theory of the frozen head. Have you looked into?
I like to think it's true. I think that he was kind of like one of those early crazy billionaires, kind of like an early Musk.
Yeah,
and I think that's our lives never overlapped historically, but like seeing these billionaires today, I think that like
you
Elon
never crossed
Musk,
paths with him.
No, I didn't. But you look at Bezos, Musk, and you're like, yeah, one of these dudes is bound to freeze themselves.
Absolutely.
So like Disney, he was probably like, yeah, hell yeah, freeze me, bring me back.
There's a company right now that's got like maybe 50 to like 100 frozen people.
You can pay to do it.
Yeah, it's a company. I forget what it's called. Tucker, if you could maybe find that. The time I explained this to Jschlatt, but it's a company that is like, it's taking money from people, or like people that are maybe on the edge of death. They've got like some sort of disease that's like impossible to cure right now. They're getting frozen so that like at some point maybe we'll figure out how to unfreeze them safely and then also cure the disease they have, which is kind of cool.
Just live now. Just live now.
No. Jschlatt, they had terminal illnesses. They were going to die.
Oh.
So when you say live now, that means dying.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But there are other people that have signed up that are alive right now that have like a contract with the company that like when they get close or when they're about to die, they're going to get freezed so that maybe they could at some point, I don't know, live forever, I guess.
Yeah, that whole shit is really creepy and dystopian. I learned about that whole thing playing Soma, which is a video game about like you can like hop consciousness between bodies and shit, but then it always like splits. You know, like if you are frozen to death and you come back, is that really are you in there? You in there?
I don't know if you would be.